What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined as always by my brother and co-host Angel. How you doing, my friend?
Good. What a start to Week 5. Ooh. Falcons, Bucks, great game. Shout out to Primetime Kirk. He's back, and you like that.
Kirk, I'm glad you said that because all you guys who think Kirk can't ball out in the prime time, he has 509 for you tonight.
I saw it twice this year against the Eagles.
You guys say that.
Against the Eagles and the Bucks. So shut up with no. Yeah. He's not good in prime time. He's very good.
Hell of a start to week number 5 as the Falcons take down the Bucks in overtime. Great game by the Bucks as well. Baker balled out. Just was not the brightest star tonight. That was Kirk Cousins. And we'll talk about the game a little bit as we get started. Episode 166. As you see, just me and Angel here today. We had all sorts of things on today.
It's a lot. Look, listen.
Power went out twice.
All you see is a podcast that's well produced and give it to you 3 times a week. The other side is pretty hectic today.
I mean, I guess from the things that me and you have worked through to get a show, specifically me being in the middle of the Atlantic on a boat, trying to film an episode with you.
I remember that
in LA. That was probably the most wild, but. Today, power went out twice. The guys couldn't get here this late to shoot an episode. So me and Angel are beginning this episode at 10:02.
Western time. Pacific time.
Last burst of energy here for us, but so excited to get ready for week number 5. It's going to be a really good episode, packed episode. We're going to start with the news. A lot of stuff going on. Checking on Davante Adams and that thing. That's just... I'm so excited for Davante Adams to move teams. I'm just so excited for it.
I think because, like the Ayuk stuff was like annoying because he only did it 1 year and it was like, do you deserve this?
And he did it for like a year and a half.
Yeah. But Davante's like, that's a really good football player who can change a lot of offenses instantly.
For sure. We'll check in on that. We're also going to get into Friday's questions, Sunday's answers, our Friday segment where we ask the questions that we want to see on the field.
And they can only be answered on the field.
We'll get into those questions. And then me and Angel will pick every single game of week number 5. And let's see how we're doing on that. In a minute, we're going to check in on the total picks, how we're doing across the show. But first, before we get to that, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Please subscribe to those notifications. Thank you for everyone who has joined the show recently. Congratulations to you, my friend, and the rest of the bench team on us reaching 750.
Yeah, 750. Thank you for those day 1 bench warmers.
All you day
You know who you are.
If you're a day 1er, put it in the chat right now. You guys are awesome.
And then, but if you're day 2 and beyonder, put it in chat right now.
Because if you're an episode 166er,
hey,
put that in there too. We love you all.
Welcome. We've always looked like this. The stats always look like this.
False. So false.
Don't look at history.
But if you're watching on this on YouTube, welcome to the channel 3 times a week, all year long, and we talk all things NFL, and I mean all things.
All things.
Halftime shows.
Anita.
Yeah, if you've been following us for a couple weeks, you know who that is. And of course, a lot of football.
Good football this year.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks for joining the audio version of the podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a review if you want. That, of course, is brought to you by the Fans First Sports Network. Follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search @BenchShow to follow the show between the show. All sorts of things going up on all of those platforms, so make sure you're following on Instagram, X, and TikTok, again, @BenchShow. And then check out BenchShow.com, home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. Greg Fryer putting up a 25-word or less review on each team. You know what that says to me? Greg understands the common man.
Yeah.
Because the common man reads articles on the toilet.
Yeah.
And when you're in the toilet, 25 words or less, perfect.
Someone say it's too long. Okay. Let's do 5 words or less, Greg. Let's get it down.
But make sure you go check that out. Okay, before we jump into the news, I wanted to check in on our pick standings, how we're doing as a team here. Of course, we are ranked, so let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, so first place with 36 points. I'm not sure how the point system works, but 36 points.
Neither.
AJ Woodson, 36.
Yeah, he started on a heater.
Yeah.
So
but a close tie for second is me, Andrew, and Greg with 35. So only a 1-point lead.
So you're all 1 point back.
So
wow.
That's pretty. I'm on a little bit here because I think I was 5 points behind. Then tied. Not tied for third. Third is Terrell with 33 points.
Attaboy T.
And then you and Gabe tied for last with 30 points. So a little bit of work to do. You know
I started slow. I keep forgetting to pick the Thursday night game.
You did it.
I forgot again tonight.
But don't worry.
But I feel like
because we all picked Tampa.
Yeah.
And we all lost.
I probably would have picked Tampa as well, so I probably wouldn't gain any momentum there. But, yeah, hopefully I pick it up here from the back end of this standings. But I feel like I'm about to get a heater. I feel like I get it now. I'm calibrated.
But good luck this weekend. There's some good football on this weekend. I don't know.
It's going to be a very tough week to pick
When I was picking the games, I was like, I am not confident about this one. I might switch it on the fly when we do that segment later.
Yeah, why not?
Because it's hard.
Let's get to the news. This segment is brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. Have you ever wanted to own your very own piece of signed memorabilia? For most, the dream of collecting NFL memorabilia seems distant because of high cost. But UltimateAutographs.com has created an easy way to start collecting: live breaks. Live breaks are events where a host opens up boxes of memorabilia live and gives you a shot to win authentic sports memorabilia for a fraction of the cost. Here's how it works. First, dive into the action by buying a spot. If you use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, you'll receive 15% off your first live break entry. Then, just pick what type of memorabilia you'll want to win and secure it with a simple payment. Now, you're in the game. Next, get ready for the main event. Watch the excitement unfold live. Be part of the anticipation as we prepare to reveal what's hidden in each box. Finally, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If the piece we unveil matches your spot, victory. That piece of history is now yours to keep. So, are you ready to join the excitement? Secure your spot, tune in live, and let the fun begin. Don't forget, use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, to receive 15% off your first live break entry, and good luck. Okay, the news is brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. Go check them out. Win yourself some cool signed memorabilia. Let's jump into the news here, starting in Washington, where we've been a lot lately here.
Yeah.
Talking about the Commandos.
And it used to be in a very bad way. Used to be like they're very bad, or their owner's a piece of shit, or something, someone's like that.
Accurate.
Now, good vibes. Good shit happening.
Really good vibes, a lot of money. Commanders rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels was the #1 selling jersey on Fanatics this past week per Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin, of course, famed Illuminati leader.
It's not. We don't want
the Fanatics.
The smoke with them or the Scientology community.
Scientology. Are they teamed up with Scientology?
No, they're both evil. No, we don't want smoke with either of them.
Yeah.
We'll take the Bo Nix people and the Brock Purdy guys, but not the Church of Scientology or the Illuminati.
Church of Scientology, Illuminati, the bees. What are they called?
The Beehive. And the people who cloned Jamie Foxx. We don't want any heat with any of those people.
We love all of you.
I'm not saying love it. We just...
But screw the Democrats.
What? Okay. That's just an entire demographic.
I'm just kidding. You guys are great, too.
There's no way
old school demographics.
There's no way that people who listen to this show are Democrats.
Yeah, I feel like we lost them already. We lost them already.
You had a bench you for dumbest Kamala.
Yeah, I did. Anyways, Jayden Daniels on a heater selling a lot of jerseys. This is just... I'm happy for the Commanders. Even as an Eagles fan, they went through so much crap for so long with terrible ownership, with all the nonsense that was going on in that building. And on top of all that, terrible football teams. Like, my mind goes back to a picture, if I can find it, I'll throw it right here, of training camp that they showed, where on the way in, where usually fans are lined up to see their favorite player walk to training camp, it's just empty.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes when I think of Washington, but they're turning it around, and this guy's at the head of it.
Jayden Daniels, back-to-back years of the #2 pick being an absolute stud.
That, too.
That's next year, whoever's #2, I'm going to bet on them.
Yeah, I hope the kid stays healthy. Hope he has a great year. Right now, I think inside track for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud.
From one thriving rookie to one that just super bummer of a story, Chiefs have now placed wide receiver Rashee Rice on injury reserve, meaning he's out a minimum of 4 games. Now, we say that. You might be saying minimum of 4 games. He's out for the year. I don't know what's going on.
They haven't announced anything. It has been, at time of recording, it's been almost a full work week. We have no update on what's wrong with his leg.
Yeah, here's a tweet by Adam Schefter about a quote from Andy Reid. Andy Reid told reporters that they want to wait for the swelling in Rashee Rice's knee to subside before the wide receiver undergoes additional testing next week. Now, one could think, okay, maybe there's some hope here. They don't want to call it an ACL or call it a total tear of whatever before they can actually confirm it.
Yeah.
Another person could think maybe nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong, but maybe the worst that we all feared is not actually so.
Yeah. There was some. So I follow some like sports doctors online on Twitter, and some medical pros who know a lot more than I do, and they said if there was an ACL, they would know very clearly after the MRI whether it's swelled or not.
Right.
Because usually you wait for the swelling to go down for the surgery, but because there's no clear indication or they haven't announced it, maybe that's
So what's weird about that then is
weird.
like,
yeah, it's weird.
So they would know if it's an ACL, but then flip that around, they would know if it's not an ACL.
Yeah.
So that news I think would have come out already as well, right? That it's not an ACL tear.
Yeah, it's
what I'm
weird that
saying?
they haven't announced that.
It's just weird. I think it's probably we should not get our hopes up. They're probably just keeping it close to the vest, and they feel no need to rush because they're not getting him back anytime soon. But I mean, we'll see.
It's weird.
We'll
It's
see.
weird.
It'd be crazy if he came back because a lot of people have already kind of started living life without Rashee Rice and the Chiefs. Okay, let's move on here. The Browns running back Nick Chubb,
He's
who
back.
went through his own knee injury, full tear of I think
brutal.
ACL and MCL.
Bone. It was pretty.
Some
brutal.
crazy stuff. But Browns running back Nick Chubb said Thursday his surgically repaired left knee is feeling good after his first practice in more than a year. Unsure of when his debut will happen. I think they're going to let him ramp up as slowly as they can. But he's back on the field, man.
Yeah, they activated his 21-day window. So
Explain that for someone who doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, so when they're on short or when they're on IR and you activate them off from the 21-day window, you have 21 days to sign up to add him to the active roster.
Right.
If you don't, he goes back to the IR.
Yeah, so if you see this pop up, it does not mean that he's playing Sunday
No.
or that he's ready to get. It just means that they are ready to take a look at him
At practice.
away from the games
Yeah.
to see if he can actually join them eventually for a game here. But it's a step in the right direction.
But Browns are bad, so take your time, Nick.
Yeah, there's no reason.
The offensive line's bad,
There's
quarterback's bad, vibes are bad.
Unless in the offseason he really focused on his throwing.
I know a team that should trade for him who played Thursday night and couldn't close out a game.
Oh, yes.
I stop at that right now on the fly.
Yeah.
The Bucs should go trade for Nick Chubb. If that happens, I give credit.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
That's what they need. They need a closer. So, but anyways, good for Nick Chubb.
I don't know if it's Nick Chubb, though. His knee is barely
You
working.
probably get him on a discount. His knee is, yeah whatever. But good for him, though. Glad he's back.
Speaking of players entering the 21-day window, Vikings are opening the same 21-day practice window for T.J. Hockenson, tight end who balled out for them for about a year and a half, tore his ACL from a brutal hit. And who was that idiot?
Kirby Joseph.
Yeah, moron.
Dirty as fuck.
But anyway, T.J. Hockenson on his way back as well. And I remember knowing T.J. Hockenson was come back in the offseason, I wasn't as excited about it because I thought the Vikings would be not the best team in the NFL. But here we are in week 5.
They are 4-0.
And the Vikings are the best team in the NFL, and they're about to add T.J. Hockenson. Now, we just saw what happened when they added Jordan Addison.
Touchdown.
Very good.
First touchdown of the game, right? I think.
Yeah, I think he caught 2.
Yeah,
he was very, very good.
He's phenomenal.
Now adding Hockenson in the absence of Addison, Naylor, right? Naylor.
Yeah, Naylor showed himself.
He showed up. Like
Yep.
they got a squad, man.
They got a team ready to go, and honestly, they could ease him back too. They're 4-0 without him.
Are the Vikings gonna go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. That'd
The
be weird.
Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold.
Hey, I don't think.
I'm not ready for that. Is the NFL ready for Sam Darnold to win a championship?
Think someone bet the Vikings to make the Super Bowl? What were the odds preseason for that?
God.
That's a good. That's
If
a
AJ were here, I'd tell him to look up the odds.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to look at the odds, and I'm not going to look up
not
the
a
odds
chance.
either.
So I'm guessing not great.
Yeah, if you put money on the Vikings, please tell us in the chat. I would like to pitch you on a partial ownership of the Bench podcast
In exchange for
some
of the money.
quite a bit of money. Anyway, let's move on here. Just a crappy story. And so we're bringing it to you. But Dolphins pass rusher Jalen Phillips suffered a knee injury Monday night, and it's going to be season ending. It's going to require surgery for the second straight year. Absolutely feel terrible for this kid. If you remember the video of him last year tearing his ACL,
Yeah.
just absolutely broken about it. A young guy who was kind of just taken off as an NFL player, and I don't want to act like he's dead. Like he's obviously going to live to fight another day and all that and try to come back again for the second straight year, but just you hear about these roads to recovery and being in a training table and how painful it is and how monotonous and boring it is and depressing it is. And he's about to the feeling of like, all right, another year of that crap.
Yeah, this sucks for him and his career, obviously, but for the Dolphins, what a disaster of a season.
So far, so bad.
You lose Tua, you don't know when he's coming back. You lose your best pass rusher for the second year in a row. Tyreek Hill's screaming but calling it motivation. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It's motivation. Shut up, Tyreek, because you were yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough for Tyreek. Tyreek. Tough for the Dolphins and tough for Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. So good luck to you, buddy. Hope for you come back strong and make another comeback attempt. That's not a good way to say it.
But still, you feel bad for back-to-back injuries like this. Sucks.
Okay, main story here, the big one that everyone's talking about, wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, even though they're not on speaking terms at the moment.
They're not talking.
Not expected to play Sunday against the Broncos due to a hamstring, Angel. Due to a hamstring. That's why he's not playing.
He has one or it's hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt. That he has one.
What sucks, side plot, I would love to see Surtain is having a great year, Surtain versus Davante Adams.
Yeah.
But we won't be.
He wants none of that. He doesn't want to go out there, work his ass off to get open, just to have
an underthrown ball
sail it over his head.
Not Bonix.
Not Bonix. Yeah.
Gardner Minshew.
Or Gardner Minshew. Whoever
Doesn't matter.
Decides to lose with that day.
They're all the same.
Yeah, he's done with it. Obviously, I wasn't joking. If you're listening, they're not talking.
No, they're not. He literally said on K Adams, "Yeah, I haven't talked to him." That's great.
That's wild.
That's great. I'm glad you're doing that to your 20 your best players.
Let's be honest here. As someone, me or you, who we are not filthy rich people.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, yeah.
I have a lot hidden away under my mattress.
No, I'm just saying, like, the thought of, like, I'm just going to stop talking to my boss, even though they're paying us millions to play football. That's a little hard for me to swallow. Like, all right, dude, I don't know. These receivers the level of diva is so high.
But it's a two-way street. You know what could have happened when
Antonio Pierce is probably being just as petty.
Antonio Pierce could have said when that story broke out, called him, "Hey man, I didn't know that I did that. I obviously don't mean it. You mean a lot to this football team. You're a captain of 2 years. We need you on this team, and don't something like that. I don't know. I'm not a head coach. He is apparently. What a job he's doing, huh?
Yeah, Antonio.
We'll get into that. Let's get into the.
But yeah, Davante Adams. I feel like I don't know. I'm getting really sick of these receivers just doing this every time they want to leave a place, even though they signed a contract, even though he handpicked the Raiders to go there. Now he's trying to force his way out. I'm getting a little sick of this. So I'm saying, as excited as I am for Davante Adams to join the team, what that's going to mean for the new team, I'm getting sick of going through this again if it's another big drama fest like it was with Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, and this will be.
That being said, another tweet here by Adam Schefter. 2 teams high on Davante Adams' wish list of places to land, if not at the very top, are the Jets and the Saints, interesting enough, to go visit 2 of his old buddies, Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was digging into the Saints stuff. It's going to be really tough for them mathematically to add him because they are in a terrible cap situation.
Yeah.
They always push the money back.
It doesn't feel like the right move for them, but I don't know. Maybe they do. I know of any organization that thinks they're going to win the Super Bowl. They are right up there.
They are always.
And they've been good this year.
Yeah. They're a good team.
Much better than expected. We were expecting them to be like the worst.
Yeah, well, I think
in the league.
Picking bottom 5 in next year's draft.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're going to play the Chiefs this week. I think they're going to play them tough.
This is boring, though. I don't want this. This is boring.
We want them to go to the Jets. That's what we want, right?
As a team, we've wanted that to happen.
Bills would be pretty excited as well. Packers would be fun.
Remember what I said before the show started? If the Texans would have waited just a little bit, they could have traded for Davante Adams.
Yeah, so you'd definitely rather have Davante Adams than Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But we just heard after the game Albert Breer go on and say that NFL execs believe that he's trying to manufacture a trade to the Jets.
To the Jets, yeah. They did mention a handful of teams that had checked in. Among those was the Bills, which I'm very excited about. I think the Bills and how it goes against this week against the Texans is going to have a lot to do with how hard they go at this. But I think the Jets obviously are just the place that everyone wants.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers wants it. Davante Adams wants it.
We want it.
Garrett Wilson, fantasy owners do not want it.
But they need
But they need it as a team.
this is gonna hurt Garrett Wilson fan. They need an alpha wideout.
Yeah, I think they just need a physical presence.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on the field. I think it's more just like a presence. I'm not physical and like in the locker room. Like this guy, like that's Davante Adams.
Yeah, and a lot of people jumped on us because we were a little critical on Garrett Wilson because he just hasn't produced. That's not an opinion. That's just a fact. He hasn't produced. We're not saying he's not a great receiver, but the reason it bums us out is because we want the Jets to be good.
Yeah.
We want them to succeed, and we can't see it happening with Garrett Wilson as your number one, at least right now. He's a young guy. He can grow into that role, but maybe he's not ready for that right now with the veteran Aaron Rodgers back there. Pair him with Davante Adams.
That's crazy.
And then he's in a great spot to succeed.
Just for example, last week, Surtain locked up Garrett Wilson. That would have been Surtain on Davante Adams.
Yep.
And you would have Garrett Wilson on the number 2, Riley, or whatever number 2.
The white guy.
Yeah.
You know who's the most targeted DB in the league? The white cornerback for the Broncos.
You know he wears long sleeves to hide it. I'm just kidding. But he wears long sleeves.
People don't single him out.
He wears long sleeves every game. Like, I wonder why you wear long sleeves.
What color are they? Are they black?
No, they're just blue.
That'd be kind of funny.
Bronco. No, but like I'm saying, like that would be a situation where Garrett Wilson would profit because he wouldn't see the number 1 wide.
Real
corner.
quick, what's your deep sleeper team to come up and grab Davante Adams?
Man, I have some, but I saw one and the 49ers.
Oof, that's a good one. That's juicy.
49ers and the Rams. Those two.
Rams would be interesting.
They could say F and picks again and just go
They could.
trade a second round pick for him.
That went well the first time, to be honest.
And then you have because you're so hurt at the wideout position and you're in a time
and you don't know what is going to happen with Cooper Kupp.
And you don't know how long Stafford's going to play.
That too. Like you have the window right now.
So you're like, if we can get Cooper Kupp slowly back with Davante Adams holding the fort down until then in the playoffs, Davante Adams, Cooper Kupp in the slot, and Puka Nacua, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good luck stopping those 3.
My sleeper team, because I can't see it happening, is my Philadelphia Eagles.
God.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I've heard it out there. I've heard people make a case for it, and it kind of makes sense when I hear other people talk about it. I'd have a hard time seeing like how they're going to do that, but that'd be pretty wild.
Real quick, let's burst the bubbles of 2 teams that he's not going to: the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. Stop it. He's not going.
Patriots, no, he's not going to go there. Although I've heard that they're just going to take the best offer, so whoever wants to ante up for him,
because
they're going to get him.
Yeah. So one of the insiders on NFL Network
he
said,
doesn't have a no trade clause.
Yeah, said that he has no control really.
Yeah,
he's just kind of he's kind of playing with the Raiders with this trade, but he's not talking to them, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. They could just lowball him and send him to the Patriots.
As they should. They should take the best offer.
Hey,
as a team, I don't care where you're going, bro. I don't care where you finish your career.
Yeah, you can ask for a trade there again, but we're not going to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on here with the series of tweets we have about Davante Adams. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce, when he asked about Davante Adams, says, "We're focused on Denver." Straight out of the Bill Belichick handbook here.
Yeah, he's so cool, dude. He's so cool. He drives a Impala to the game. He's so cool.
Well,
such a good head coach.
Yeah, another quote from Antonio Pierce. Speaking about Davante Adams, he says, "Since I've taken this job, it's been obstacles. So just another one." I mean,
I'm so over this guy.
I got to see how he said it because I'm just reading the tweet. And I'll be honest, I don't know the context. It sounds like, woe is me, boo-hoo. There's so many obstacles being a head coach for the Raiders, and this might not be a job for me, to be honest. And if that's how he meant it, then, I mean, I think we all were ready to crown Antonio Pierce a little too early. I wasn't. I never believed in the guy.
I wasn't.
But the majority of the NFL thought this was Dan Campbell 2.0, and it's not.
The ultimate player coach.
Yeah, it's not. I never thought it was. I thought they made some foolish moves in the offseason. And some great moves. The Christian Wilkinson move, awesome. The cornerback they brought in from New England, who's been balling out,
Jack Jones, who has some bad film though.
He has some bad film, but he's been that was a good addition.
Yeah, that was good.
But letting Josh Jacobs go, not replacing him, that's been a disaster.
Well, don't worry, they got Madison.
White and Alexander Madison. Yeah,
sweet.
And then the biggest one, not going to get a real quarterback.
Yep.
I would have moved hell and high water to go get Jayden Daniels if that's what you really wanted to do, which is apparently that was what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and then they just said, let's take the best available. Brock Bowers is good. How much is he helping you now in this situation?
Yeah, how good is that tight end doing for you?
You know how easy it would have been if Davante Adams had Jayden Daniels throwing him the ball. This guy who doesn't allow his offense to punt the ball.
Yep.
He'd be super happy. I haven't seen Davante happy in years.
I mean,
well, since the Raiders actually. That's probably why. That's funny.
If they do it again, if they were to do it again, they would have to we're not picking Brock Bowers here. No matter what they said, right? They're going to go get a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, they should. First of all, Antonio Pierce was supposed to be a player's guy. Players don't seem to play for him hard because
players don't seem to really like him.
Because he called him out in the media, and then he wonders why they all hate him. And then his best player, then he alienates his best player by liking a post on Instagram.
That was so stupid.
Like, bro, stop. Look. Head coach might not be for you.
I don't think. I think eventually it's not going to be for him. I don't think another team's going to give him a shot either.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like Jeff Saturday type thing.
Yeah, and I think next year when Ben Johnson and Bobby Sloak become available, they're not going to be like, oh, let's keep Antonio Pierce actually.
Right.
Because players love him. No, they don't love him. No one likes him.
The writing should have been on the wall when the other teams in his division were Sean Payton, which, whatever, but it's still Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Andy Reid and
Harbaugh.
Like, the writing should have been on the wall. Like, Antonio Pierce ain't going to last.
Yeah. This it reminds me of Josh McDaniels in Denver. He just goes there, he trades the best players. He thinks that's what's best for the team. Then he gets fired. Then the Raiders are stuck. You know what stinks too? The Raiders beat the Ravens this year.
Yeah.
Like you saw, if they were actually all together, it's not a bad roster. They have a good defensive line. Their offense has not best quarterback play, but they have weapons. They have Bowers, who's a very good rookie. Then obviously Davante Adams, Jacoby Myers. Yeah. But this is what happens when your head coach doesn't know how to handle anything.
Wow. That's the news brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get to our Friday segment. Friday's questions, Sunday's answers, questions that can only be answered on the field.
The gridiron.
Be right back. This segment is brought to you by Dad Gang Hats. Dad Gang makes the highest quality hats in the apparel industry because they use premium materials, pay close attention to detail, and prioritize durability and comfort. With so many styles, colors, and designs, they absolutely have the right hat for you and the dad in your life. Use code BENCHED76826. That's BENCHD 76826 for 15% off your first purchase. Shop Dad Gang Hats. Quality hats for quality dads. Okay, Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. Let's jump right into it. Why don't you get started?
Yeah, my first Friday's questions and Sunday's answers is, can Caleb Williams keep on improving this week versus Carolina? Last week against the Rams, solid.
Yeah.
157 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks, 73% completion rating. He was sacked 3 times. Offensive line's still bad.
Yeah.
But what you saw was he kind of calmed down.
Yeah.
He did a little bit of the scramble stuff, but I think as the game slows down for him, you're going to see, this is why he was picked number 1.
Right.
He actually can throw the ball. He was keeping up. Even though that game was kind of back and forth and it was kind of low scoring at points, the offense looked good. Swift went off, 16 carries, 93 yards. I thought he looked great. Let's just go through his stat line, then we'll talk about his. So first game, Titans 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Next game, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Low point. Last game, 2 touchdowns. The Colts. We watched that game. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah.
Then this past game, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. This is not stat box. This is not box score analysis. This is showing improvement. Also on the field, you see he's slowing down. He's not rushy. He's not anxious. He's not as anxious.
Yeah. So
I'm looking for him to improve against a beatable Carolina. I know they've played better, but Carolina's a nice game where you can get stuff right, try new things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a nice landing spot.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. I think the game's slowing down for him. I think it's reflecting in the box score. Just the way he's taking care of the ball, just the efficiency he's playing with. I was kind of surprised how many people were just so quick to be out on this guy. Like, oh, he sucks. I feel like he was doing fine. I feel like he was trying to do too much.
Yeah.
I still feel like the Bears have an offensive coordinator problem. Mm-hmm. That's not the guy to do it.
My head coach problem, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But for sure, Shane Waldron was not the move there. What?
No, I'm only just. It's a Eberflus positive because they're top 10 in 5 of the major.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Sets.
Eberflus is a fantastic defensive coach. Yeah. The problem is he works out of the head coach office.
Yeah,
and you're not going to get some young offensive mind to come and be the offensive coordinator just as a lateral move.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to need to, unless you go find someone like the Falcons did, Zach
Robinson.
Zach Robinson, who was an offensive coordinator, was just a quarterback's coach,
Yeah.
and maybe give him the promotion to offensive coordinator. But it's gonna be tough to get the right guy there because you're not gonna have a chance at a Ben Johnson or the
Bobby
Texans guy, Bobby Slowick or whoever you want to fill in there. But anyway, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are out of him a little quickly. I think the game's going to slow down, and you see the talent.
Yeah.
You see the ability to be a playmaker, to extend plays. I think there's a lot more running in his game than I think all of us are ready for.
Yeah, he did a read option last week for a third down. And that
very good athlete and good sized athlete as well. He's a little weird. Okay, that's just
he's a little quirky. He's a little quirky, a little bit of a goof almost.
Yeah. But you know. Kirk Cousins is as well. As I watched him do the what's called the wave thing.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
The Atlanta wave thing with the whole crowd. He looks like a complete dork.
Surfing. What's it called?
Swag surf.
Swag
surfing.
We sound so old right now.
I don't know it, but Kirk Cousins was doing it, and he looked like an absolute dork. But it doesn't matter because if you're balling out
and you win,
it does not matter.
Yeah. Caleb Williams though, we need a head coach in there or offensive line coach to fix that line.
Yeah,
he's been sacked 16 times in 4 games. That's third most behind New England with the worst offensive line football, and Cleveland, all backups playing. So that's not great because the Bears, this is all their starters. And they're pretty bad.
They've kind of neglected it. I think Poles has gotten a little bit skill position happy.
I don't think neglected. I don't think their draft picks have hit. Darnell Wright.
Yeah, there's that too.
They have.
I don't know. I feel like they haven't added if I'm the Bears, I'm going and getting the best offensive lineman because free agent offensive lineman is a good investment.
So Tyron Smith.
Maybe someone a little younger. Maybe like
he like the best.
He was the guy who went to
like a Robert Hunt guard.
Yeah, to like someone who could be with you for a couple years. Because I know as an Eagle fan, we like guys like someone like Jason Peters we signed in free agency, and they play for you forever, and they for the most part stay healthy and they can play into later years. I think they should have been a little more aggressive on the offensive line market, I think that's the last thing to fix. Fix the O-line and get an offensive coordinator, and I think that's going to be just fine. Hopefully this defense can hold it together while the offense figures it out. All right, for me, Friday's questions, Sunday's answers, C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Contenders or pretenders? This is their moment. Or at least it's their first moment. They'll have more moments throughout the season.
This is their moment. They've proven before that they...
Well, I think the biggest game C.J. Stroud has probably played so far in his career. Bigger than those playoff games because no one expected them to go to the Super Bowl last year. It was just a get your feet wet type situation. This is the first time where they have come in as a team that everyone expected to be good, and they are very good.
Yeah.
And they hold a 3-1 record. They are first in their division, and I think they're going to now play the type of team that you need to beat if you're going to get taken seriously. Because if you put up great numbers and have a nice record and you lose to teams like the Bills often enough, you're just the Miami Dolphins.
I love C.J. Stroud. I love this team. Them and the Bucs are my sweetheart teams this year. They did lose bad to the Vikings.
Yeah,
and that's a legit playoff team right now. As of this point, Bills until last week when they got blown up by Baltimore, we thought that was the best team in the NFL. So this is a legitimate team that has capabilities of playing at the highest level.
Yeah.
So Stroud this year, obviously, bad game against Minnesota last week. 2 touchdowns. One was he led a game winning drive. Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, you want to be talked about in those upper echelon of quarterbacks. This is how you do it.
Yeah, that game was 2 games ago. They are coming off a win against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
24-20. But, yeah, that was a big loss. The Bills are coming off a big loss to the Ravens. So I think you're going to get the best version of the Bills here. Josh Allen is playing in an MVP-type clip. Also, little side note here, C.J. Stroud balls out against Josh Allen on a type of game like this where everyone's going to be watching. You also are firmly in the MVP race as well. It's a huge game for the Texans. As far as the matchup between them, it's a real. Once you dive into what exactly these teams have done a quarter way through the season, they're very different teams. Okay, the Bills are not what they have been the last couple years. They are scoring a ton of points. They are second in the league in points scored. That's 30.5 points scored, just 21st in yards, which means they're probably wildly efficient in the red zone, right? Scoring a lot in the red zone. 23rd in passing, which is surprising to me. Josh Allen is leading the 23rd ranked passing offense in the league, and just 17th in rushing as far as yards per game. And so you wonder, like, how are they putting up so many points? How are they making it work? Because they're scoring the most points in the league. It's because of two guys, Josh Allen converting the red zone and the breakout of James Cook.
Yeah.
James Cook's absolutely balling.
Speaking in total of, like, narrative, Stroud goes in there, tears up this Bills defense. Narrative swings heavily towards him being one of the elite quarterbacks.
I mean, it's as far as the young quarterbacks, it'd be one of the bigger wins. Because we haven't seen C.J. Stroud beat Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, when he was healthy. It really hasn't overlapped each other. We haven't seen any of the other young quarterbacks, like Caleb Williams or anyone take anyone big down, or obviously Bryce Young didn't beat anyone. We haven't seen this next generation of quarterbacks yet really take a chunk out of these legit Super Bowl contenders, and this would be kind of like the first one. Jordan Love's the other guy I'm looking for.
Jordan Love is the
We haven't really seen him take, I guess, the Cowboys in the playoffs, but that's just what the Cowboys do in the
Niners,
So I think it's just a huge game. It's the biggest game of his career.
It's a good one.
I don't want to give away my pick, but I got some optimism for the kid.
Good.
I really do. Just looking at these numbers, I think if they're smart, and it's going to take such discipline and such like humility, run the rock.
Yeah. Or
run the rock.
Pass it to the best wideout in the league, not named Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Nico Collins. Nico Collins is so freaking good. Nico Collins
You don't mean that.
No, he's not as good as Justin Jefferson or
That's what I'm
Amon-Ra.
saying. Like, he's the third best receiver in the league.
I mean, yeah, he's very good. His numbers are ridiculous.
Tyreek Hill is light years better than him. Davante Adams is better than
Nico
him.
Collins?
Absolutely, Davante Adams.
Either way, he's a very good wideout.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and my assumption of him being born just because of C.J. Stroud, dead wrong. I was wrong. He's a very good wideout.
Yeah, let's lay that to bed. C.J. Stroud did not make Nico Collins. The guy's always been good. He was just held back by terrible quarterbacks.
They kind of formed the pyramid, and now they're a beautiful building.
Beautiful.
And then now
beautiful.
They get Tank Dell back. He was hurt last week, rib injury.
Right.
So you had the full repertoire of weapons for C.J. Stroud, and that Bills defense with no Vaughn, obviously, suspended because he's an idiot. He does idiot things. He might be a good guy. He acts idiotic. He's not an idiot.
Also does illegal things.
Listen. Everyone deserves a second and
Let's
third.
talk about this Texans
chance.
defense.
This is third chance.
Texans defense, who's also, like I read, very good against the pass.
Yeah.
They got their fair share of playmakers that are a little less known. Less people probably know who Stingley is, or Kamari Lassiter, or Azeez Al-Shahir,
Will Anderson, Christian Harris.
Yeah, I mean, even their big free agent acquisition, Daniel Hunter, is not really that well known.
Yeah.
I think this is a real chance for this defense to make a mark.
Yeah. This is God, what a great game this is.
It's just such a huge game.
Why isn't this primetime? Why did it?
I don't know, because I feel like you saw this coming. I mean, I don't know.
The primetime game is I know why, because the primetime game is Cowboys and Steelers. And that's like a legacy game for the NFL.
But I think everyone would rather watch this game, right?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
We got.
Yeah, my Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. Can Sam Darnold get his revenge game against the Jets in London? So 6:30 a.m. On the season, 932 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. Obviously tearing it up. Last two games has been truly elite. Versus the Packers, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Versus Houston, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Offense is ranked top 5 in points per game, yards per game, yards per play. They're top 12 in third down. And they're in, 4th in red zone scoring. So pretty good all around. And this is the revenge game. Sam Darnold was wrote off and humiliated and marked as a bust with the Jets.
Yep, number 2 overall pick, right?
A number 2 overall pick that and then he had the quote where he was seeing ghosts, and then everyone started dogging him. Then he got moved to Carolina, which that was another shit show. had a year off, sabbatical year, a redshirt year in San Fran. Just learned off Purdy and Shanahan, I guess, and now he's over here tearing it up. But yeah, this is a full circle game. This is a full circle event. Yeah. He was written off as a bust. Comes find this team where he wasn't expected to be good. Like if he was bad this year, we wouldn't even bat an eye. Oh, that's just Sam Darnold.
We wouldn't even make fun of him.
Yeah, that's just. But now we're like, this guy might be playing like the best quarterback in the league right now. And now he has a team that's healthy and for him. You heard when he got hurt and came back, the entire Minnesota stadium was cheering for Sam Darnold. This fan base and this team has his back. You have Justin Jefferson, obviously Addison back now. Hockenson probably won't play. But Aaron Jones having a career year. Have you seen Aaron Jones on the year? 5 yards per carry, has had 94 yards, 93 yards, 102 yards, and 32 yards. That's because they're blowing out Texans. They just didn't want to. Yeah. So Aaron Jones revival year, so he's back to being an elite playmaker.
Right.
Sam Darnold has all the pieces to beat this Jets defense. They're also very good.
Yeah, I lit up when I saw this game, and I didn't even think about Sam Darnold playing the Jets again. That's just another layer on top of that. This is going to be such a fun game to watch because it feels like you have Kevin O'Connell versus Aaron Rodgers. Like those are the two minds at work.
Yeah.
But you have what I think is a great defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh against the best coach, the best maybe offensive mind in the league, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
That's just a thing of beauty to watch. But then you're going to have Aaron Rodgers also go against Brian Flores' defense that has been an absolute buzzsaw. What's up?
Why don't you say Nathaniel Hackett versus Brian?
Because
Brian
we know.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett, like he's an offensive coordinator, like in name, but I think he just works well with Aaron in coming up with a game plan. He knows how to call a game that is going to, for the most part, be the decisions that Aaron would want to make. And he just knows how to work with Aaron Rodgers, which, listen, I know we make fun of the guy. There's not a lot of guys you can bring in where Aaron Rodgers is going to stay happy. The offense is going to be what he wants it to be, and you're not going to have to rifle through offensive coordinators. It's a skill to be able to work with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. We've seen head coaches get fired or people get frustrated because they couldn't.
And we've seen him be like, you don't want to frustrate Aaron Rodgers.
We've seen this year. His own teammates haven't been. Some teams haven't been on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
it's such a fun game to watch.
I'm not going to say anything positive about on Nathaniel Hackett.
That's fine. That probably was a little weird for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't want. This is weird for me.
Even though we got to get up at 6:30 a.m., I'm going to be just coffeeed up probably around 6 o'clock, just waiting for this game to start. Cause it's such a fun football game.
Yeah,
and big one for both sides.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. I hope he gets his win just so he can conquer that demon of the Jets that just threw me off. And,
for me, this is like two of my favorite teams to watch this year going at each other.
Yeah.
So it feels more lose-lose than win-win because it feels like I don't want either of these teams to lose. Yeah. I really like both these teams, but we'll see what happens.
It might be one of the last games we see where the Jets don't have Davante Adams.
You're right.
If they had Davante Adams, would you pick? Would you pick Minnesota? Oh, sorry. Would you pick the
Jets? I might
Jets?
pick Minnesota anyways, but
if you had Davante Adams, would it sway you at all to pick the Jets?
It'd be I mean,
what a game!
I've said already in the show what I think of them. If they get Davante Adams, they're the Super Bowl favorite to me. Like that would be just such a incredible shift.
Yeah.
But anyway, this game gonna be huge. Can't wait to watch it. I got one more. How many do you have left?
I'm
all right. For the last one for the show, Friday's questions, Sunday's answers. My question is this: what do the Chiefs do now? Now what do you got? And I'm excited to see because they're gonna try something.
Yeah,
they're gonna do something, and it's probably gonna be amazing. And spoiler alert, they're probably gonna win again. They're probably just going to win again. You're going to look at the box score. No receiver's going to have more than 2 or 3 catches or 40-some yards. They're going to spread the wealth around the running back room, and it's just going to be crazy. They're going to win again. Obviously, Rice and Pacheco, the big losses this year. Hollywood Brown before that. Going into this game, Kareem Hunt and Mecole Hardman both questionable. So just the little weapons you have are a little bit hurt. Looking at what Rashee Rice and Pacheco did for this team, it was a shot in the arm. It was a little bit of an identity shift.
Yeah.
Those are two tough guys who run with the ball very tough, who took a lot of hits and a lot of wear and tear off the body of Travis Kelce. And here we are.
To them.
Yeah, here we are exactly in week 6, and it's going to be, we saw last week, Travis Kelce step up. He's still capable of doing it. I think they were trying to save it, but now it's like, well, we need this guy in week 6.
Yeah.
Week 5.
He's always looked that way.
What?
He's like a weird athlete because like he's not like fit, but he's like the smoothest athlete that like in his prime.
Classic tight end.
Yeah, he's just like weird to like. You think, oh, he's fat, but he's always been like this. But he's been the best tight end of our generation.
Yeah, just incredible. I mean, the whole thing. He has an incredible feel for how to get open, even though he's not the biggest, fastest, strongest.
He's a good football player.
He's a
That's
great
what he
football
is.
player.
Yeah.
He's a great blocker. He brings a leadership intensity that the Chiefs obviously have relied around for a couple years now. I think he's more than capable of being the number 1 option for this team. For how long is the question, and who's going to help him? You have Xavier Worthy, who is fresh, small. Don't know if he's ready. We've never seen a wide receiver like that carry the load for a championship team.
He weighs what, $170, buck 80 soaking wet.
They're legit. Yeah, their legit wide receiver too is Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah,
who just joined the team.
Yeah, he actually scored a couple touchdowns this year. Actually.
Yeah, and behind that, the regular cast of characters:
Sky Moore.
What's the receiver's name?
Watson.
Who might be the best?
Watson.
Is Watson.
Justin Watson.
He'll have a great game tomorrow.
And his great game will be like 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown.
I have it here: Kelce, Worthy, and the boys, because that's what it is from here on out.
You can't get hurt no more. What?
Listen, you can't afford. You can't. Don't even put that out there.
You can't. Yeah.
They're 4-0, and they're going against, I think, one of the more underrated teams of the league because they had a heat check.
Yeah.
They lost.
The Saints. You're talking
Saints,
about. Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints. They are underdogs here. Plus 5.5 points. They're getting to the Chiefs. I think they are a sneaky opponent. And they're not the kind of team the Chiefs want to face right now.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be up for the Chiefs, and they're talented enough to beat the Chiefs.
A good defense and offense that has direction this year. Kamara, once again, has regained that burst and that, he's Kamara again.
And a team that scored a lot of points.
Yeah.
Like, they've put up already a 30-point game and 2 47 and 44-point games.
Yeah.
They lost the last 2 weeks to the Eagles and the Falcons, 2 really good teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs. Barely lost to the Falcons. I think the Saints are a really good team. Obviously, this Chiefs team so far this year has beaten no one too crazy. Just the Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, and Chargers.
Whatever, dude.
Just a casual 4-0.
Yeah.
But has not broken 30 points yet. And if you look into the numbers here, this has not been the Chiefs offense that we're used to. Chiefs just 15th in total yards, 23rd in passing yards, 8th in rushing yards. But you got to imagine a lot of that was before with Pacheco. Yeah. And so the offense isn't putting up huge numbers. Meanwhile, number 1 defense in points scored against the New Orleans Saints. And so I think we've heard people say it, defense travels.
Yeah.
And I think that defense against this offense that is going to be trying to figure it out, I think is an interesting matchup and for once, a possible disadvantage for the Chiefs.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Interesting game because they're going to have to rely heavily on that Spags defense to kind of carry them through.
Yeah.
Until we find out what the hell's wrong with Rashee Rice's leg or until the Chiefs trade for Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to happen.
True.
They're going to have to rely on that defense and ball control. You might be right. It's gonna be about 6, 7 to 9 players catching balls on Monday night. This is Monday night, right?
It's Monday Night Football. Yeah.
This is the only Monday night game, right?
Yeah. Just one Monday Night Football game.
Thank you. It's supposed to be done.
Saints are a classic, old school kind of built team. The way they are, first in points scored, but 7th in rushing yards and 4th in time of possession. Yeah. So they run the ball, they keep the ball in the other team's hands. Yep. That team is Patrick Mahomes. I think they got a real shot here, and I want to see what the Chiefs have. This is not an easy test for your first game post.
I mean, if it was like
Rashee Rice,
like one of like the Patriots, I'm not picking on them, but like one of the least talented teams.
Right.
Saints are actually a talented team.
They're a good team.
They have guys. Cam Jordan still does his thing. Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, obviously.
He'd having a breakout year.
The Honey Badgers are back there. They haven't even gotten Olave going. So that it's very interesting.
And did you mention? I mean, what's running back the clock guy? God, I can't remember the freaking name.
Remember the clock guy.
Running back.
Oh, Jamal Williams.
Yeah. Did you mention Jamal Williams? Because not Jamal Williams. Did you mention Alvin Kamara?
Did
you mention Alvin Kamara because he's having a huge year.
Yeah, he's having a huge year. They will be out without Swiss Army knife Taysom Hill, as
he broke ribs
because he's 35 years old, running in the A gaps and blocking and running routes. I think I heard this on someone's podcast. He lined up at wide, at slot, at tight end, at fullback, and at running back, and at quarterback.
He's an amazing player.
Yeah.
He's an amazing.
That's
player.
why he broke his ribs.
That's why he broke his ribs.
Cannot do that to a man.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch.
He's fun.
But the Chiefs, we'll see what they have to do now, because this is going to be a fun test, and it could either be the year that they lost because of injury, or another story in the legacy of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yeah, Mahomes comes out here.
I felt really good about that line.
Clip it.
That was a good one.
If we get Mahomes coming out here 3 touchdowns, I'm like, what?
God.
It's done. We're not.
It's gonna be to the backup tight end.
You know what's gonna happen? Is be like, I'm not doing this podcast no more because we can argue about the Eagles and the Vikings and whatever. It's like Chiefs are gonna win it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Don't even worry
about it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
those are that's our segment. Fridays questions, Sundays answers. I think some big time questions for some big time games.
Great games.
Cannot wait for football.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's get into our game picks. I'm going to go right down the list here. We'll talk about each team, each matchup quickly, and move through every game being played this week. Let's get started. Obviously, Thursday night game is over, so we'll start with the Jets and the Vikings. This game's in London town. Home team, though, is Minnesota Vikings.
Sound like you're from London. I'm picking Minnesota. I think Sam Darnold gets his revenge. I think that Vikings defense frustrates the hell out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm going with Vikings as well. I want the Jets to get a victory because I don't want them to fall under 500. But I think they are, and I think the Vikings go to 5-0. Yeah, absolute buzzsaw of a defense in Minnesota. Same, I'm right there with you. Let's move ahead here to the Sunday 10 o'clock slate of games, or at least on the West Coast. The 1-3 Panthers traveling to Chicago to play the Bears, led by rookie quarterback who is turning it around a little bit.
Yeah. But QB1 revenge, Andy Dalton returning to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I have the Bears. I think this is a nice game for them to keep Caleb going forward. So, the Bears.
Yeah, I have the Bears as well. I think they continue to click here. Even though Andy Dalton has been good, it's still a very bad team.
Still a very bad team.
And they're going to lose to the Bears because that defense is absolutely legit. And I think the Andy Dalton experience, it's a little bump tomorrow.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, let's move ahead here. The Ravens, who just out of nowhere blew out the Bills last week.
Because they can.
Sit at 2-2. The world is not falling. Are going to a team where the world is, the sky is actually falling.
Literally.
For the Cincinnati Bengals at 1-3. This is in Cincinnati, a classic NFC North battle where kind of just throw everything out the window.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'll take Derrick Henry and those Ravens.
Yeah, I think as well. I think just that defense in Cincinnati has been so bad. And
Henry's been really good.
Hopefully the Ravens found something that works, and they stick with it.
Wait, don't throw the ball. Just run the ball a million times.
Yeah. Stick with it. I'm going with the Ravens as well on the road. Game of the week. Bills 3-1. Texans 3-1. In Houston. You got to imagine it's going to be a rocking crowd as their Houston Texans are, a super hyped and super good team. Who you got?
I have my boy C.J. Stroud coming out on top. Woo! I love this team. I will stand by this team. Bills are good. Texans might be great.
Bills are great. Josh Allen might be the MVP. They might be in the Super Bowl. Like, I can't say enough good things about the Bills. They're gonna lose this game.
It's crazy.
They're gonna lose this game. The Texans are gonna win at home. You're gonna have the home field going crazy. You have a very underrated defense that I think is gonna lead the team to victory here. Yeah. And I hope and C.J. Stroud. The thing to me that gets me to believe that he's gonna win a lot of these big games is that he takes care of the ball so well.
Yeah.
And what you'll see when teams lose these kind of games, Jalen Hurts, is because you can't take care of the ball.
Yep.
And I think C.J. Stroud does, and they do enough to win there, and it's the biggest win of his career. Let's move on here. Colts 2-2. Jaguars still looking for their first win. I believe 8 games in a row now. Trevor Lawrence has lost.
Sweet, that's a good record.
And he's
going
gonna
to sign him long term.
They
already did that.
Well, they might name the stadium after him.
Oh,
did that as well.
See if that were. God, they're 0 for 2 here. I'm picking the Colts.
Picking the Colts as well.
I don't care who plays quarterback. Joe Flacco, Sam Ellinger. See if he's around. See if Phil Rivers can come out for a day.
Yeah, I hope
Jags are bad.
Plays. Jags are really bad. Doug Peterson might get fired this week.
He's throwing his players under the bus.
It's gonna surprise the hell out of him.
Like, what? Why am I 0-5?
He barely found out last week his job's on the line.
Like, what are you talking about? I'm Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I think Colts are gonna win this game. Jaguars, I think, moved to 0-5. Dolphins 1-3 at the 1-3 Patriots. Let's just pick it and move on here.
Yeah, Patriots.
Yeah, it's gonna be Patriots. Dolphins are so hurt, so beat up, and they cannot move the ball.
They won't move the ball against this.
We need to rethink how good Tua was, or at least how much he meant to this team.
Or rethink how good of head coach Mike McDaniel is if he can't adjust a game plan for quarterbacks, which we're seeing all across the league.
Easy. Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley are just really
Malik
bad.
Willis won games.
Malik Willis is at least good at something.
He wasn't before he went to the Packers.
He's always been a good runner. He's always been a good rusher. Skylar Thompson and Snoop aren't good at anything.
They're
not accurate. They're not athletic. So Snoop Huntley is not that athletic. He's not that good of a runner, and I think this is
so unwatchable.
They might not score.
This is so unwatchable.
Unfortunately, the Patriots might score once.
They might break the record that Bo Nix set last week with less than 60 yards passing.
Real quick, how many weeks do you think till we see
Drake May?
Drake May, sorry. Yeah, Drake May.
At this rate, just in the whole season. Just redshirt him.
No.
Yeah, why not?
I want to see him a little sooner than that. Maybe the halfway point.
That line is bad.
Okay, Browns 1-3 against the 3-1 Washington Commanders. I think we're both going here.
Yeah, Jayden Daniels keeps it going.
Jayden Daniels at home. He's taking the league by storm, 4-1. He's going to start to build a cushion here, I think, in the NFC East. Raiders 2-2 taking on the Broncos, also at 2-2. Battle of the mids here. What you got?
Antonio Pierce is too busy hating his own players. Sean Payton, for all I don't like about him, he has his players believing in him and in his system. I'll take the Broncos here at home, wearing the best uniforms in the game. Watch that game just for the uniform.
Yeah, debuting the classic uniforms. I think the 60s.
They have the
Terrell's been talking about him since like last season.
I wish we could wear these as our home games. They're so sweet. Yeah. Orange with a little bit of like lighter blue than normal.
That being said, I'm taking the Raiders.
Really?
I think the Raiders are going to win. I think they're gonna spite victory Davante Adams and show them how much they don't need him on the team. This has been a team that's shown they're not very good, but they can rally.
We're petty as hell.
Yeah, they can rally around a cause that really doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
I think they win this. They win this game and move to 3-2, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The 1-3 Cardinals, which is kind of surprising. They feel like they're better than 1-3, or I feel like they're better than 1-3 against the 2-2 Niners, which is also surprising. I feel like they're worse than 2-2.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I actually have
in San Fran.
I have the 49ers.
I have the 49ers as well at home.
Yeah, I think it's a good game though. Yeah. But 49ers, you got this one. Purdy, playing pretty good.
Purdy looks pretty good. There's no way around that. Purdy looks good.
He's playing. He's playing good.
Yeah. The Packers at 2-2 taking on the 1-3 Rams. Who, speaking of beat up, LA Rams are right there with them.
As much as you can be.
Who you got?
I'll take Pack Attack. I think Jordan Love will look better this week. A little too early last week. I think this week he'll turn it on.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers as well, but I think this might be one of those. I don't want to say a trap game, but I think if they're underestimating the. Oh, sorry, just burped in my mouth. There you go. 3, 2. If they're underestimating the Rams, they should watch out because it's still Sean McVay, and we saw him win with Baker Mayfield that one time when no one wanted him, and it's still Stafford. Yeah. And I think this might be a closer game than people would think. But yeah, I got the Packers as well. 1-3 Giants at the 3-1. God, I'm gonna burp all of a sudden. 3, 2, 1. 1-3 Giants at the 3-1 Seahawks. Who you got?
No neighbors. Huge problem. I'm going Seattle by a wide margin here.
Yeah, I think Seattle wins very, very easily, and the seat gets hotter for Brian Dable.
He doesn't know it, I don't think.
Yep. 2-2 Cowboys and the 3-1 Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Battle of the classic organizations. You got?
Pittsburgh at home. I think they're going to run the ball. They run the ball some more. No DeMarcus Lawrence. No Micah Parsons for a team that's already bad against the run. Against one of the teams that's all they do is run the ball. Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh here.
Jayden Daniels took over last week with that huge game. I think there's 3 names that are going to be in the news this week about just everyone going wild about him. One of them is Justin Fields.
Sir Justin Fields. He's a Knight somewhere,
yeah,
I'm sure.
I think they win. I think everyone starts to believe, even though it's crazy how many Pittsburgh beat writers, just don't want this kid to be their quarterback and still claim Russell Wilson as the QB1.
Because he doesn't throw for a ton of yards every game. He's a winner. Yeah. He's a winner.
Yeah, but
actually,
anyway,
he has some good stats, though.
I think the Steelers win, and I think the Cowboys move to 2-3. Let's pick Monday Night Football. Saints 2-2 at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Who you got?
I picked this before you talked, so this is not me. You influenced me. I have the Saints. Yep, I have the Saints.
I have the Saints as well. I think they're going to win this game. I think there's going to be a lot of questions and a little bit of premature panic. The Chiefs are going to need a minute to figure this one out.
Until they trade for Amari Cooper.
Or that.
Then they're just fine.
Yeah, but I think as far as this game, it's just
this is
wrong team, wrong time.
Yeah, this isn't a game to get adjusted. This is a very good Saints team.
Right. I think the Saints, I mean, I feel like they thrive playing. It's like Marshawn Lattimore. He thrives on the big matchups. And I think him and the defense ball out. Derek Carr rolls, Alvin Kamara rolls, and the Saints move to 3-2. Chiefs, I think, moving to 4-1. That's Week 5's games.
Week 5, what a great schedule. Starting at 6:30 in the morning, ending at 5:30 or 8:30 if you're on the East Coast. So you have a long day of football.
Yep, those are our picks. All right, that's our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 166. Make sure you're following all social media platforms or the YouTube page. Subscribe to get Friar's favorites this week. That is his favorite bets of the week. He's on a heater.
On a heater?
If you want to win some money, you can check out those picks, and he'll win you some money. But also this week, debuting a new fantasy segment that'll be released only on social media from our very own AJ Woodson. So check that out. That's going to be a good time. And we will see you Sunday recapping what promises to be a wild Week 5.
Yeah, Week 5 should be good. Broncos, please win. Bo Nix, please throw for more than 60 yards, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Good thing is the Eagles can't lose this week.
Yeah, bye week. Hey.
Okay.
Get healthy, Philly, and everyone else on bye week. It's in Detroit, right? Yeah.
See you Monday. Bye.
Peace.